Eric Johnson.
Well, taking a live look at that Great Falls Clinic iCam, we have some sunshine to start out our day. We'll be warming up pretty quickly this afternoon into the mid-80s for both Great Falls and Helena, nearly 10 degrees above average. And here's a live look at that Helena Opportunity Bank of Montana weather cam. Now, looking at our forecast throughout today in Great Falls, we are going to see those temperatures warming into the 70s pretty quickly this afternoon and eventually the low to mid-80s. You can see those rain chances fairly low, but there is the chance for a very late day thunderstorm right around sunset or just after, and then a little bit closer to 6 to 7 o'clock for Helena. We'll start to see a few pop-up showers and storms, and that's as a cold front moves across the state. That's going to cause this high pressure ridge to break down, and we're going to see a significantly cooler weather setup throughout this weekend, allowing for this area of low pressure to move right over us. And that's when we'll see the coolest weather Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures will drop from the 60s to the 50s on Sunday. There are even a few areas that won't get out of the 40s on Sunday. So the first weekend of summer is going to be very cool, but the good news is next week we see that storm system pulling away and will warm up pretty quickly. As we time out our day for today, we'll be again looking at most of the day being dry, and then we'll start to see a few showers and storms developing along I-90 by about 4 o'clock. Those will push up towards Lewistown and Helena closer to 7 o'clock, and there is a potential for 1 or 2 of those storms to turn severe with strong wind gusts and heavy downpours being the main concern. And then moving into Friday morning, we'll see this area of some heavy showers and thunderstorms developing for the Rocky Mountain front, areas west of I-15. This could put down some pretty good rain throughout the morning, but we're definitely going to have some wet roads as we're headed out. And going through the afternoon, we start to see some of those storms developing. Mainly to the east of I-15 is where we'll see that severe threat, and those storms could contain some large hail and damaging wind gusts. These storms will also contain some very heavy rain, unlike what we saw with the storms this past weekend, where we saw a lot of hail and wind being the main concern. These storms could actually cause some localized flooding, and we'll continue to see some of those showers into Saturday morning as those snow levels do start to drop along the Continental Divide. Now, we are running below average for rain so far this June. This is our wettest month of the year, and it does look like we'll catch up with some beneficial rain. This is by Friday evening. We're already seeing anywhere from 3/4 to an inch in Lewistown, and then as we move through Friday night into Saturday, we'll continue to pile on that rain, and we'll see even more on top of that going into Sunday. But we do have a winter storm watch in Glacier National Park, where we could see a half a foot to a foot of snow, potentially even more than that in some of the higher peaks. Even down in the valleys, though, we're looking at some snow accumulating. So for Marias Pass, we could see some accumulating snow, but Logan Pass especially, we're looking at some of that snow, and there is the potential for a road closure this weekend for going to the Sun Road. Temperatures into the 80s for most of us today. Those storms developing first around Helena and then moving further to the north, and highs well into the 80s for parts of central Montana. It's going to be a nice and warm afternoon on the High Line. Temperatures close to 90 degrees for Glasgow. And looking at the rest of our weekend, we're seeing some quick cooling temperatures into the 50s and 60s this weekend, but we do warm things up pretty quickly for next week. And for Helena, we do run that risk of some showers and storms all the way through this weekend. Temperatures will struggle to get out of the 50s on Sunday.
Financial exploitation, a common form of elder abuse, sees